It's been about a month since Kayou Naruto's global launch, and with it has come a lot of questions that I want to answer today for those who are newer to the hobby. Today, I'm going to be answering some of the top questions as well as showcasing a near complete set of all Series 1 so you can see what it looks like in the binder. And I want to start with the number one question that I get asked, which is where do you buy them? First off, you can get them directly through me if you reach out via Facebook or Instagram. A lot of people have been doing that already, which I genuinely appreciate because when you buy from me, it supports me directly and everything that goes into making these videos. I'm also working on a new website that should be live next year that will make the whole process so much smoother. Beyond that, you could buy it directly from Kayou via their official TikTok shop. Also, Crossing TCG has a website, and then there's in stores like GameStop, Target, and I think Walmart and Best Buy are going to have some as well. Although I will mention, every single time I've gone to the Target, I have not been able to find any in person, so they must have sold out super fast this first wave. All right, now that you know where to find the cards, a lot of things that confuses people is the rarity system. And this is actually the perfect time to switch over to the binder so I can show you in person what they all look like.
For this video, I do have a giveaway, which I'll be randomly selecting a comment in a few weeks and giving away each card shown in the next minute to minute and a half. The first and lowest tier is going to be our R cards. These tell the story of the series by taking still photos, turning them into cards, and ultimately we're going to get to experience the whole land of waves through those. And then our second type of rarity is going to be the SR cards. These are similar to the R cards, except for they have a more foil pattern behind it, but I believe all of them are taken from like screenshots or snapshots from different parts of episodes. Like this one I specifically remember as he's facing off versus Haku. And then you have the ultimate Gooner card for this set, the sexy Jutsu Naruto, and my favorite SSR being the Zabuza as he's headed towards the thugs. Up next is the PTR cards. These feel a little bit different than the other ones, and I will mention that as you take them out of the pack, over time they tend to have like a slight curve to them. I'm not sure what causes that, but it's the only card that's more prone to it. But also it has a film protection layer that you can peel off, or you can leave it off if you want, but just to showcase that's something you can pull off. I'm not sure why they're printed on a different cardstock like this, but just giving you a heads up of what to expect. Our next rarity is the UR one. It feels very basic, but it's a nice character profile snapshot of each character. There's 15 total in this set. All cards up to now, I consider more common cards. Now, this is our PU rarity style. It looks like a postcard. We get to see our characters in more of the relaxed common clothing, and they do join together to create scenes. These are more of a whimsical, fun, what-if type card, getting to see these characters, obviously, as we didn't see them in the series. With a step up in rarity, we have our MR cards. These are similar to PU in that they have some combined art that can join together. There's only 6 of these cards, while there's 10 PUs total. They also all seem to have some type of zodiac sign reference, if you're into that sort of thing. Next is a big step up in rarity with the BP cards. These feature characters daydreaming about something that's precious to them. In this instance, it's Konohamaru's rivalry with Naruto. This, as well as our next rarity, are the first to feature some texturing on the cards. Here's the SP, 1 of 4, featuring Sakura here that has a nice stained glass look to it. Also, I mentioned on the back of the card, it is black. These are the really, really rare cards. This and a different type of rarity, which we'll see later on, are the ones where you'll see that. Remember, there's a giveaway for all these cards, so be sure to comment and I'll select a random winner in the near future. That was 9 out of 10 rarities. I'll be sure to showcase the highest rarity SEs at the very end of this collection. Our front page here is blank, but I'll eventually fill it with probably some promos. Over here, we're kicking it off with our R cards, which in this binder, I decided to go from the top left corner being 1 all the way down to the second page being 8 and so on. So it's going to tell a story chronologically from left to right as it goes down. Really, this is bringing to life the entire first arc of the Land of Waves. Pulling these while opening up packs felt very mediocre, but once you get them in a binder all in a row like this, I actually can appreciate them. And it's going to be nice to kind of tell the whole series of Naruto as time goes on with the R cards. This team captures the first time they encounter Zabuza and fight him solo, while the second page features them facing off on the bridge versus the both of them, going all the way to the end when they end up meeting their demise together side by side, ending with these 2 cards on the page. Now, these orange sleeves here I'm using as placeholders. Dragon Shield sleeves are my go-to and favorite sleeves to use for both the cards and also these placeholders. I love how it has the orange front and back. But for our SR cards here, I'm starting off with number 1 being in this top right section, going all the way 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so on, like I did the storytelling cards. One of my favorite SRs is Zabuza sitting down. One of the most iconic scenes when he holds that sword out. There are 20 SR cards total, so that fits perfectly on this page, while there's 24 SSRs, so it fits both of these pages perfectly. What I love is so many of these SSR arts joined together. Haku versus Naruto, Sasuke versus Haku. We can see Kakashi versus Zabuza. Just a lot of fun attention to detail, bringing to life some of the battles that we did see in the series. Some of the arts are solo and by themselves, but here's a nice visual checklist so you know which SSRs you might be missing. You typically get 1 to 2 of these cards per pack, so hopefully after opening up a few, you will get most of them together. Now, for the PTR cards, there are 20 in total. Again, these are static where you get 2 per pack, so pretty guaranteed after you open, about a dozen packs, you'll have hopefully what is a complete set of these. If you ever do reach out online to order something from me and you're missing some of these cards, you can hit me up and I'll try to include them in the order. Moving on to the UR cards, these ones almost fit perfectly where it has 15 of them total, so I just added the Conan promo from the box over in that bottom right section. But here's all of those lined up again from top left being 1 and then moving down the line all the way through 15. And after the 15 UR cards is our 8 PU cards, and a lot of them do join together to make scenes, so I wanted to keep them together. We have 1 through 4, which creates 1 big scene, and 5, 6, and 7, 8, which has 2 separate scenes. The next 2 pages are where the heavy hitter cards are, so I don't want to just hold these up to the camera as a group, but individually look at them. We'll jump in first and see our 6 MR cards included. Up first, we have Naruto, which joins together with 3 others. We can see his little frog wallet at the bottom there. Next is Sasuke, all sitting on a log. Then there is Sakura. And of course, on the right, we have Kakashi sitting against a tree reading Makeout Tactics. The next 2 we already saw, but I'm showing them again. Zabuza is one of my favorite characters, so I'll give him a little bit more screen time in my video. And after our MR cards are put back in the binder, we'll jump up to our BP Rarity cards, which there is 7 in total. In my experience, these come every 1 in 15 to 1 in 20 packs. We can see Naruto daydream of eating ramen with Iruka, a great one. We can see Sasuke over here, I guess daydreaming of a younger friendship with Naruto. And of course, we have Sakura daydreaming of being on a date with Sasuke. And next up is Kakashi. I don't know what he's daydreaming about or where he's at, but of course he's reading his book. A fun little detail having the lightning bolt outline, the daydream for him. This is probably one of my favorite BPs because we can see Hiruzen daydreaming of these younger, simpler times with the 3 Sannin. And then there's Konohamaru, probably daydreaming of his rivalry with Naruto, something he cherishes greatly. And lastly, we have Zabuza and Haku. Haku just daydreaming of enjoying more time with Zabuza. The third highest rarity out of the way, we'll move over to our right side of the page, which is just full of bangers. On the very bottom, we'll first see the SP rarity cards. About 1 in every 24 packs, the stained glass look. We can see the Uzumaki clan symbol, as well as some orange looking tails behind Naruto. They all do have that black backing as well. These are definitely one of my favorite style of cards that they came out with. It's going to be nice to collect these over time and feature them all together. Sasuke has the Uchiha clan symbol with some fire behind him, I'm guessing for fireball jutsu. Sakura has the cherry blossom looking petals all around her. And lastly, one of my hardest to pull was Kakashi and his Ninken. I only got 2, while some of the other ones I got multiple of. If you pull one of these cards, consider yourself very lucky. In my opinion, hard and difficult to pull, and will definitely be candidates later to talk about when we consider grading cards. And moving on to our last rarity in this series, SE, you'll notice I'm missing one over here because 4 were made and I only have 3 so far. With how rare they are and hard to pull, it's even uncomfortable to hold these on camera, but I want to give you an up-close look at them. Nice outlines in gold, again, some texturing on there. And in my experience, I've heard something between 1 in every 2 to 3 cases, there's a chance to pull one of these. Doing some quick math, there is 8 boxes per case, and there's 24 packs per box, so 196 packs in a case. That said, it could take 2 to 3 cases to pull one of these, so consider yourself insanely lucky if you do pull one. So far, I've pulled 2, and I've traded for the other ones that you'll see in my collection. Really cool looking Sasuke and Naruto exhausted after some training together. You can see little empty bento boxes. And while I do enjoy the more tranquil look to these, I hope in the future we can get some action-based type SE cards. And here's my personal chase card for Series 1, Zabuza, man. Again, one of my favorite characters in the series. Thankfully, I was able to trade for this card first. I also have multiple copies of it, and I'm looking to eventually grade it for my personal collection. But a crazy cool card. Hope to one day get Haku. If you have one available for trade, hit me up. I'd definitely make you a nice, fun offer for it. But here are some extra copies. Again, I'm going to be sending away to be graded. Looking forward to going with PSA most likely when I do this, because previously, when I did grade my cards, I only had sent them through with a company called MNT. Here's just a handful of some of my favorite cards that I have graded over time through them. These are from the China versions of Kayou from many years ago. We can see the M&T logo. This is a diamond black label, so not perfect, but then we have the black label over here. Again, I'm not sure if I'm going to be using M&T for the English ones because PSA is going to be accepting the English Kayou now, when previously they would not accept the Chinese versions of these, so I had to go with M&T, but it wasn't a forceful thing. I did enjoy grading cards through them, very similar to that of BGS's style. Another question I've been asked is, can I or should I grade these cards? And I would definitely recommend doing the SEs and SPs. I'm probably going to be doing some BPs as well, because these are the top 3 rarity cards, some of the hardest to pull, and some of the best arts in the series. I know I'll be sending a batch away, so look forward to a return video when I do grade them. One of the most asked questions that I've received is, how much are my cards worth? And I can only give you my thoughts and opinions. These are not concrete. The market is still establishing for these, as well as the demand. So for R cards and SR cards, I'd probably say close to like the 10 to 25 cent range for those. SSRs might demand a slight premium at like 50 cents to $1, which I know it seems low for these, but you're getting guaranteed amounts of these per pack, so a lot more common to hit them. Same thing for these as well. But as we move up to the UR ones, I'd say based on the style alone, they might demand a little bit more, so a little bit more than like $1 or $2 per. And the PU rarity are really just going to be dictated off of who wants to complete their collection for those. So again, a few bucks, I imagine, if you pick those up. As we move up to these higher rarities, again, it's so unknown, so my thoughts only. MRs, I'd put them at around 5 to 10 each, depending upon which character, certain ones being in more demand. Same thing for BPs, right? If it's a Kakashi, it might be more than that of a Konohamaru, but probably around 25 to 50 for BPs. SPs, I'd put in the 40 to 60 range, maybe even more, closer to like, 80 to 100 for the Kakashi, Sasuke, Naruto. And the SE cards are just another beast. I've seen them sell for like 200, some for 4, some for 5. It's just all based on what a person's willing to pay at this time until market establishes itself. I'm curious to see what those PSA 10s are worth, but right now grading takes months, so it's going to be months before a market establishes itself for English Kayou Naruto cards. I'm going to be here for it. I'm going to be enjoying opening up packs and sharing as much information as I can. If you have any questions, please let me know below. Look forward to seeing these two come back, and as always, I'll see you in the next. Do what you love and love what you do. Bam out.